Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bookish things. I upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Time, with some extra videos sprinkled in here and there. I am an independent author, an avid reader, and a cat mom of 3. I hope you had a fabulous holiday, and today we will be talking about a book that it took me far too long to read, and that is Trashy Romance Novel by Jacqueline E. Smith. Let's get into it. Okay, so full disclosure, this author is a friend of mine. I met her years ago at a con, and then since then we've done several events together, and I would consider her a friend. But I did purchase this with my own money. All opinions are my own. Who else's would they be? So let's start with the book blurb. It all started with a crush. How cliche is that? I mean, of all the things to motivate a person to do something, how often does it come back to silly infatuation? More than most of us would probably admit. Of course, this wasn't an ordinary crush on a cute coworker or a charming friend of a friend I hooked up with at a party. No, I've never met the man that inspired my books, but I'm about to. Delaney Brooks is the author of The Queen's Surrogate, the sinfully satisfactory romance novel that swept readers around the world off their feet into a fictional embrace of His Majesty King Malcolm. When her book is adapted into an 8-part miniseries, Delaney and her best friend Gemma fly to Scotland for what promises to be 2 months of lush green mountains, historic castles, hot celebrity coworkers, including the gorgeous Matthew Kent, British playboy, Benjamin Wyndham, and Hollywood's hottest reformed rebel, Colin Ward. Author's note, not erotica. This book is 376 pages in paperback, which is what I have here. It came out January 1st of 2017, and this book is surprisingly sweet. The author's note, not erotica, did not appear on the back of this book, so I was expecting something more spicy than what I got. But for the sake of this plot, for the sake of the storytelling and the truth of the storytelling, I was not missing spice. So this one is definitely a sweet, not spicy. There is sex in the book, but it happens off page. It's very much a fade to black. There's getting naked. Pretty much everything up to the act is on the page, and then it falls off the page, basically. That being said, this one was 5 stars. This one was absolutely 5 stars. I try very hard not to let my relationship to the author color my opinions. I don't know how successful I was in that, which is why I felt like I needed to disclose that I know the author, that I'm friends with the author. I absolutely loved this book. So Delaney Brooks goes by the pen name Lorelei Dubois, and her friend Gemma, who is kind of the worst. Honestly, I didn't really like Gemma, but I'm not sure if you're supposed to, because she's kind of a mean girl for kind of a friend. She's not really a best friend in the traditional romance novel style. She's more of a best friend in the teen drama, in the vein of teen dramas, in that she's not backstabby, but she's not supportive the way that you would expect her to be. She calls Delaney out on a lot of her nonsense, but at the same time, she also pushes her into things that she's clearly not comfortable with and things that she would rather not deal with. And she doesn't have to deal with these things. It's not required, but it did feel a little insensitive in the storytelling. I just didn't like Gemma very much. I did love Delaney, and there's an element of hidden identity that she's going by Lorelei Dubois on set, that she's flown halfway across the world to be on set for this miniseries, because she's also a writer on the miniseries. She's not just the author on whom the work is based. She's also like an associate writer on the show. And this book is a little bit on the ridiculous side in that I don't think they would make the author of the original series an author on the show. That being said, She Who Must Not Be Named was on set for the Harry Potter films, so it does happen. I just don't think it happens very often. So it is plausible. It is possible. I just don't think it's very likely, if that makes sense. But this book sparks of wish fulfillment and delightful. It's fluffy and it's delightful. It's like the perfect slice of cake. It's not too rich. It's not too deep in the storytelling. It's just fluffy. It's just fluffy and perfect. And this book is so fluffy and so perfect, and I absolutely loved it. This book is a one-sitting read, easily. You can read it in one sitting. It's PG-13 as far as spice goes. And there is a great line on page 1. Like, it has a great opening, this book does. That's right, at this very moment, I am en route to the Scottish Highlands, where a production crew is waiting to film the long-awaited television adaptation of the Surrogate series by Lorelei Dubois. That's me, by the way. I'm Lorelei Dubois. My real name is Delaney Brooks, but when I first decided to try my hand at trashy romance, I decided I didn't want anyone to actually know it was me. That I was writing. And I absolutely loved that bit. I love it in movies. It's not done very often, but I love it when you start out a movie with narration and they're like, that's me, by the way, over there. Like, I love that in movies when it's done well. And this one felt like it was done well. It's obviously told first person. It's tightly plotted. There are very few plot holes, if any. But like I said, there's lots of absurdity. So some people in the reviews were mistaking the absurdity of the situation for a plot hole. And it's like, no, that's not a plot hole. That's just suspend your disbelief. It's not a hole in the plot. It's just a chance to suspend your disbelief and enrapture yourself in the story. I'm not going to give away the ending because the ending was really well written. I enjoyed the ending. It kind of kept me on the edge of my seat a little bit. What was going to happen with the ending? To say that this is a thriller, but it was thrilling to read. And my sentiments mirror those of of another reviewer on Goodreads, in that, but now I need a sequel where my poor boy Benjamin gets the girl. Like, I need one where Benjamin gets the girl. Like, that's not a spoiler. He's not really a contender for Delaney / Lorelei Dubois. It just, I need a book focusing on Benjamin. I just do. Because he was great. He was silly and flirty and irreverent and sweet and wholesome at the same time as he was being this playboy. And it's a very hard line to walk, but I feel like Jacqueline E. Smith walked it very well. Have you read Trashy Romance Novel? Have you read anything else about Jacqueline E. Smith? I previously reviewed one of her books on the channel, and that was Broken Mirror, a collection of short stories. I also have Secondhand by her that I will be reading in the new year. But for now, have you read any Jacqueline E. Smith? Have you followed my recommendations for Broken Mirror? Or have you read her boy band books, I should say, because it is a series? I'd love to hear what you thought. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.